I'ma keep it a bean. Stick to the script, every scene. This from last year, but they clean. Say to say, I'ma take something else, but it's winning team. Charlie Sheen, fam gang, the regime. I'm from Piney Green.
What's good, Shellitronnn here. You can call me Shells, and I'm back at again with a brand new video. And I'm gonna keep it a Bowberry biscuit. This video is a little bit late. Like I mentioned in my last video, I had to actually re-record this because there's a few issues with the original recording. So the energy on this one's gonna be a little bit different than the original because I was hyped. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was going in on that one, and I really can't reproduce what was going on with my raw emotions at the time, especially with the man that we almost elevated to godlike status. I won't lie to you, in the preseason, even during training camp, we were all over this man, Joey Sly, calling him, what we call him, Swole Kicker. I don't know, there's a whole lot of different nicknames for this man, Mr. Perfection, all this kind of stuff. And then we get into a game, and Joey Sly, we can talk about that last field goal where he misses a go-ahead field goal that could have been a game winner that sets up Will Lutz to get the game winner for the Saints. But we're going to forget this man missed 2 PATs. 2? They're not that hard. I mean, look, I know they're going to be hard for someone like me. Maybe for y'all watching this video, PATs will be hard. But not for a professional kicker in the NFL who gets paid to kick field goals. That is unacceptable. He left at least 5 points on the table. That is unacceptable, but I have to get to the whole game here. First off, we're in our all whites. We look pretty good in the all whites, not gonna lie to you. I've always hated the silver pants. I've always liked the white pants more. We look real clean in the all whites. And in some ways, this is a game where we look good and we played good. But it was kind of inconsistent. The whole first quarter, it was all Saints. Drew Brees could not do wrong. This man, Jared Cook, he's 6'5", 250, playing tight end. This dude could not help but impose his will on our secondary. And our secondary was not playing all that great this game. Jared Cook had 6 catches for 99 yards. How did that even happen? Because he's 6'5", and 250 pounds. He's about Cam Newton size. He's Cam, or even maybe, not LeBron. He's about Cam size playing tight end. We know how that's going to work out against guys who are playing safety for us, guys who are in the nickel, covering him up, even linebackers. He's also kind of fast too. He's a little bit faster than he looks for how big he is. But the point is, he was doing a lot of work. He got an OPI called on him, offensive pass interference, that was actually upheld. But if we're going to be honest about that, that OPI was called on him because he was just a bigger guy. That was not offensive pass interference. That was called having a mouse in the house on defense and a bigger guy getting that ball, getting that pass in there. But that was not the real big changing point, the real big swing point of this game, because just like the first quarter was all Saints and basically no Panthers, the second quarter was all Panthers, literally no Saints. Drew Brees looked very mortal. He looked washed in that second quarter. We looked great. The D was playing really good, very solid. The offense played very, very solid. Look, I want to give a lot of big props to Kyle Allen. Every time he has a good game, we talk about how it was the defense and the running back, which it has been for the most part. But he's had some solid games where you can't really take away from what he was doing. And he's had some bad games. And whenever we have really bad games from Kyle Allen, we make sure to talk about it. But I want to make sure that I do talk about this early enough in the video to where you can definitely see it. Kyle Allen had a great game last night. Well, Sunday. He had a really, really great game Sunday afternoon. He went 23 for 36. Not the greatest completion percentage, but not bad. 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He ended with a better QBR than Drew Brees, who had a pick. But 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 2 deep pass. Well, look. 1 51-yard pass to DJ Moore. That was actually 50 yards of air passing yards. And then one that was a kind of a shorter, maybe 5 to 10 yard pass that DJ Moore just broke free and got 35, 40 more yards on top of that. It's been very clear that DJ Moore has been our leading receiver, our definite number 1 receiver. There's a lot of talk in the preseason and earlier on in training camp talking about how it was going to be Curtis Samuel, but we've seen that really switch up. That I was never really all that convinced that it was going to be Curtis Samuel. I think I was always on DJ Moore's, not really side on that because it doesn't really matter. I always said it didn't matter who was receiver 1, receiver 2, because they do the same things kind of, and both are really slot receivers, if we're going to be real about it. I don't think I've done a video on this on YouTube, but I have done at least a couple streams on Sportscaster where I focus on DJ Moore's performance in games and said he is quietly about to approach maybe 1,200 yards receiving this season. Several games in a row of having over 100 yards. That's really, really great. And when you consider he's doing this with Kyle Allen, look, we understand that the level of difficulty is very, very high here. And DJ Moore is performing to a level that would get a lot more attention if the team was winning. It is what it is. I can do a whole video on that. But let me move on to a point that I made 2 weeks ago. Y'all remember, exactly 2 weeks ago to the day, when I made a video talking about how Rashawn Golden might be a draft bust, and some people agreed with me, some others said that, we're not giving him a chance, you can't really say this. He had a family member in the comments talking about how I didn't know what I was talking about. He even had the audacity to ask me if it was personal or business for why I was questioning Rashawn Golden, which was probably one of the stupidest, that's just a really dumb question. But didn't someone tell y'all 2 weeks ago that Rashawn Golden really had no place on this team? A 3rd round draft pick 2 years ago. We can talk about how we can all have 2020 hindsight in the draft and how, oh man, this is a bad pick because this guy was afterwards. I promise you, every single pick in every single draft, there's someone you can say, oh man, if you would have got this guy, he's available the next 2 rounds. This is a guy available the very next pick. Let's not talk about that. We got a slot corner, made him go to free safety. He was never really that big of a, look, it was a bad pick. But let's not go ahead and talk about, 2020 hindsight when it comes to the draft. You can do that every year with almost every pick. But enough about that. The point is, Rashawn Golden had a couple of bad plays last night in the game. There was a play where he got pushed into DJ when he was fielding a punt, which was a smart move for DJ to be fielding punts because we have literally nobody on the team who has a chance at being good at just holding on to the ball when the ball comes to them. Now, I think DJ was actually calling for a fair catch. I don't know if Rashawn saw it, but he did get blocked into him. Can I really blame him for all of that? I mean, did Rashawn Golden actually see DJ calling for a fair catch? Or was he going back there and trying to block for him and he just got overpowered? And then the next thing you talk about is how he hit a referee during a dead play on special teams. I think it was a different punt return. Now, unless you're going to tell me that Rashawn Golden was purposefully trying to hit that ref, I don't want to hear about that. There was guys talking. It got a little physical. You feel someone pull on your jersey or whatever. You feel someone was behind you, grabbing you. What is your natural reaction? And if you're going to tell me that it was a violent move purposefully to hit the ref, then okay, that's your opinion. But I think he just felt someone touch him. Gave him a quick little, like a shoulder little move here. A little bit with the arm. He saw it was a ref. Didn't continue it. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. The point is, though, Rashawn Golden should be gone. It was a definite mistake. And it did open up another roster spot for the team to get another offensive lineman. And I want to go there right now because O-line and D-line play has been not good. Not good. There are guys going down on both sides of the ball. We've seen it happen so many times. Guys who are just getting pushed back. We saw a lot of things happen. We see this man, Matt Paradis, getting killed. Now, he's pretty solid in run blocking, but pass blocking, he will get pushed back into Kyle Allen at least twice, maybe 3 times per game. You can count on it. We know about Greg Little. It's been a whole month and a half out with a concussion. Has not looked good at all since coming back. We can talk about how this man, Greg Van Roten, be getting pushed back. Not with consistency, but he's not really looking all that great. Darrell Williams at this point, 1-year contract. I'm going to see you when I see you. The D-line, we saw Dontari Poe. He's probably going to be out for the whole season. KK Short has already been out. We saw Gerald McCoy kind of get hurt. We've been seeing a lot of injuries happen on that front. It's really getting thin up there. It's not a really great look. So we can't protect pressure. We're not really generating pressure the way we were beforehand. And that inside of the defense is going to be even more susceptible to the run now. So it's going to be very hard moving forward. But overall, in this game, we just had hashtag the biggest quote of the year, missed opportunities. we had a lot of very solid play. I won't lie to you. The defense stepped up at times. We saw the offense really step up at times. Even without Christian McCaffrey going hard. 22 carries, only 64 yards on the ground for C-Mac. That's an average of 2.9, when his average for the year is about 5.4. He did get a touchdown, but his longest run from last night was 9 yards. The offense played pretty damn good, scoring 31 points on the Saints without Christian McCaffrey having one of his better games, or even, a good game by Christian McCaffrey standards. We saw the whole team step up. The whole team really did step up. I really can't lie about that. Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray were both kind of bottled up. Latavius had 64 yards. Alvin Kamara had 54. They both averaged over 5 yards a carry. Well, Latavius had 9.1. Alvin Kamara had 5. But they did only allow 100 yards between the two of them. Now, honestly, it was only 18 carries, and it was 6.6 overall for yards per carry, so it wasn't that great. But when neither one of these guys really goes off on you, like for real like that, it's a small win. A small win? Can we give the defense a small win there? They could have run crazy on us, and they didn't. Even Drew Brees, if you really think about it, in our situation, without having Ross Cockrell, without having any real kind of great pressure coming in, without a lot of things working out in our favor, and the way that the game was predicted to go, and the way that I think most people who are like professional analysts, and even as casual fans, we could probably would have guessed that this would have been a 30-25 point blowout, honestly, on paper. And for it to have come to the very last play, or, a very late game field goal for the Saints, this was actually a pretty solid game, a game that this team could have won. This is a game that I don't really want to put 100% on Kyle Allen. I don't want to put it on the defense. I don't want to even put it on Joey Slye. Now, Joey Slye, the man really should have got those PATs, and the man really should have got that field goal. But these close games, these games where the team has opportunities to win, and the final score is within one score, one possession, is exactly what I was talking about in the video from a week ago when I said, or when I asked the question about whether or not the team needs to move on from Ron Rivera. That's a conversation about heart. That's a conversation about will. That's the conversation about how much this coach can really motivate a team and the players on that team. We're just not seeing it. Our team played pretty well against a very, very, very great Saints team that might be Super Bowl favorites or in that conversation. We played pretty good, but this loss comes down to coaching. That's how I feel about it, man. What are your thoughts? What does this game mean to you? Was it a big loss for you? Expected? Is this a coaching loss for you? What are your thoughts on Kyle Allen, the defense, the injuries, all that kind of stuff? Even Rashawn Golden. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And you already know to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Being told y'all I been the man. Being told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.